So we realize in recall healing that when a conflict, an emotional conflict, if it is overwhelming and not resolved, and I keep going like that, normally my brain will make a decision for me. And you'll see that the brain has just the body that it controls to find a solution. So if I don't find a solution with my mind, the brain finds that in the body. And we will see that. Yeah? And so we will learn that a disease is not the enemy. Actually, a disease is the brain's best solution to keep the person alive. It looks awkward, but that's the demonstration. And so it is based on the work of Dr. Hammer, who discovered that in 1979. And he had at least 40,000 cases to demonstrate that. And Dr. Saba had about maybe 10,000 cases well studied in medicine to demonstrate that as well. So there's a strong scientific basis that is a little bit denied actually by the big medical system, but it finds its way and eventually it will be officially recognized. So we will see that our job is to become aware. People, how do we become aware? What does that mean, awareness in recall healing? We'll see that, for example, did you ever watch the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? You did, okay? In that movie, there's a cartoon called Dr. Quantum, Double Slit Experiment. And what's interesting, they film a quantum, it's a cartoon, they film a quantum physics experiment, and at the end, they repeat the same experience with the same result. And then they put a camera, and every time they put a camera, it changes the result of the experiment. And the scientific in the laboratory, he noticed that from the moment you observe an experiment, you change the result. So it's the same thing. If I have an illness today, let's say I have cancer, okay? And somebody says, what happened? I say, huh? Did anything happen? I look stupid because I don't know. And then he teaches me how to look in my life. Curiously, as I discover the reason why I have the disease, in certain cases, the disease disappears like it came. Because I see it, I observe it. So we will see that. Okay? So our motto is name it, identify it, claim it, talk about it, and then the brain can dump it. Name it, claim it, dump it. So in psychoanalysis, Carl Jung said there are three very important things in order to heal. The first thing is to identify and resolve the trauma that has initiated the condition or the behavior. So the second thing is to take the appropriate action. And we're going to explain that. And the third thing is perseverance and determination. Okay, so the first thing, identify and resolve the trauma behind the condition is where recall healing works the best. All the system in recall healing is to become conscious of what happened before the illness. And when you do that, it's amazing how it helps the person to understand. And as I understand, I start to heal, or at least I minimize the condition. Instead of getting worse, sometimes I stabilize my condition. And then, and Jung said, after that, you need still a healthcare professional to support the healing process. Some people, they go to see a therapist. Let's say you're 40 years old. You have 40 years of life habits, and you think in 1 hour you're going to heal. Sometimes you become aware of the conflict, and then you need something to support yourself for a while. Okay? And this is where all the therapy, like diet, exercises, tai chi, acupuncture, psychotherapy, are very supportive of the process. And then perseverance. Keep going with the right action and protocol. So you change in 2-3 weeks years of bad patterns. So it's possible, but it's not in 1 hour that we can do that. Sometimes it happens, but most of the time we need a little bit more than that. So, and then Carl Jung said, what does not come back to my consciousness today returns as a destiny later. That means today, when I have a pathology, a problem in my body, it is what I didn't resolve a long time ago that I've forgotten. How many times when we're a child, we go to bed at night and we cry? Today, my best friend says, you're not my best friend anymore. Somebody stole your bicycle, your doll, your brother, your sister punched you, and you go to bed, you had the worst day of your life. And then you wake up the day after, you smile. Where did it go? The brain cleans the immediate consciousness and downloads that into the subconscious. As I go forward with my life, I forget about that. Yes, but there's a moment I meet a situation that awakes the memory of the past. If I resolve it, no problem. But if I don't resolve it, it comes back as a boomerang effect. And then sometime, did you notice sometime, for something very little, we have an overwhelming reaction. We don't understand why we're so overwhelmed. And sometimes, something big, we're not touched because there's nothing in the past. But when we're touched, it's because there is something in the past that we have forgotten. Okay? So we use the pyramid, eventually the rocket, to explain how it works in biology. So for that, we need to talk about the work of Dr. Hammer. So imagine I work in a clinic, in an acupuncture clinic at the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s, and I heard about the work of Dr. Hammer. Who knows Hammer? Dr. Hammer, his work? Okay. Okay, so Dr. Hammer, there's long time ago, before he became a doctor, he studied some psychiatry. He was an excellent surgeon. And in August 1978, his son, 19 years old, got shot and fatally wounded. And Dr. Hammer, for 3 months, he will try to save his son from death. And then 3 months later, in December, his son died in his arm. Dr. Hammer is a big guy like this, strong like a rugby player. He was never ill in his life. 2 months after that, he got diagnosed with cancer. People who don't know, who would like to guess, which type cancer did he get 2 months after the loss of his son? Can you guess a body part? Yeah, did you know? Did you know? So, she's pretty good. Yeah, testicle, she said. It's exactly that. So now, Dr. Hammer, for all of us who study that, it's very clear, testicle. But for Hammer, he didn't know that. He will discover that.